Look at this sun. Ooh. Hey, let's talk about priming ourselves for positivity in the morning. And if you're sick of me talking about positivity, get used to it because that's what we do here. Or I'll see you later. So I feel like recently I've been kind of noticing that I thought before that my having a morning routine was like a nice added bonus. Like when I did do my things, which I'll go into what they are after, that I kind of had a better day and it was good. I felt more positive, but it was like a bonus. And now, maybe because I'm getting older, maybe just because I'm prioritizing better, I'm realizing that it's not like a bonus anymore. It's kind of a non-negotiable. Like I can't afford to not be putting myself in a positive direction right in the morning because shit hits the fan. And I don't mean like I'm just crazy out of the whatever, but now that I know what it feels like to be like on my game, I don't want to not. Like, it's just days are just kind of more challenging and it's harder to emotionally regulate myself. And it's more likely that I'm not going to be able to deal with stuff that comes up in a way that doesn't bring that anxious pit into my stomach if I haven't done the things in the morning that put me in that good place. And yeah, it's going to be different for everyone. I'm just going to refer to it as a morning routine, but it can be whatever you want. It can be a ritual, could just be how you live your life. I don't know. But for me, I feel like it's kind of incorporating like mind, body, and like, I don't know, positivity or something like that. Like for me, some sort of exercise. Yoga is pretty good for me because I just do it on my computer, Yoga with Adriene, and it's like 40 minutes or less. Sometimes I only want to do 20, sometimes I want to do 10, it's fine. But just like getting into the body, I think I'm quite a mind focused person. Like, I love reflecting on my thoughts and personal development and all that stuff. So sometimes I get separated from like my body mind connection. So that's a good one. It has to be like something in that category. And for me, yeah, yoga, some sort of like strength exercise or like a cardio exercise or going for a walk outside works really good. And it's gonna be different for everyone. For me personally, I hate the thought of leaving the house to like go to a class or a gym, whereas other people are like, I could not motivate myself to work out at home. I'm an at-home worker outer, so that works great for me. I can just wake up in my pajamas and go for it. So yeah, something in that category for me. And I should say too, behind all of this is not being on my phone, not jumping on social media right away. So it's getting up, chugging some water probably, and then going into my routine. And the body's the one aspect. The next aspect for me is something around like checking in with myself mentally. So a good one for me is just like writing. And I think this is actually like a thing, like there's an activity from some book that's, I'll see if I can remember it and write it in the comments or something, but I think it's called Morning Pages, and it's just where you try and fill 3 pages typed or written with just whatever's in your head to just get it out. And that's valuable for me because I think when I have thoughts just rolling around in my brain, I feel like they're unorganized and I don't know how to, like, it's just always going to be in the back of my head all day. So getting that stuff out is very valuable to me, and like asking myself questions to kind of answer, like, how are you feeling today? How do you want to feel today? What are you grateful for? What's bugging you right now? Yeah, so that's good. The reflective writing. Another side of that, it could be just straight up gratitude, saying it to yourself, writing it down. Other things in like the mind category, I would say like I don't really know what these categories are going to be, because I feel like it could be like body, mind, and soul, or spirit, or I don't know. I'm just going to say them all and not categorize them. Like, yeah, gratitude, meditation. I've noticed that meditation is really hard for me to start. I don't really look forward to it, but that after I do it, even if it's for like 5 minutes, that it feels good in the moment for me after. And I know that there's long-term positive effects to meditation. I'm pretty sure I've seen like psychological studies where it actually changes the structure of your brain in a positive way. It makes you less reactive, more present, and all that stuff. So don't quote me on that, but have a look for it. Going outside, I think, even if you just literally go outside and like sit in the yard, like get that vitamin D, get those good outdoor vibes. I don't know, just connect with nature. Some people really swear by like getting bare feet and putting your feet on the ground. It just like has some grounding effect. Again, who knows if that's legit or not, or if we can prove that. Doesn't matter. If it feels good, fucking do it. Yeah, especially if it's sunny, it just feels good. And especially too, if you have a job where you're inside all day, like myself, it's necessary, and taking breaks throughout the day to go outside as well. But back to the morning routine. I would say other things are like other like self-care things. Like if you're the kind of person that really gets joy out of the routine of like showering and washing your hair and like getting ready and doing your hair or doing makeup or whatever, like that can be a part of it, because maybe during that process it's kind of like a meditation in itself because you're really focused on the thing. I think anything that you do where you're just doing one thing at a time is beneficial to have in a morning routine, because that shit doesn't happen very often for me. I don't know about you, but even if I'm watching something on the computer like YouTube or watching TV, I'm usually also on my phone, which is like, I can't even have one screen at a time anymore. I have two. It's like, holy shit. So anything you're doing, just one thing at a time. And I think that's why like the exercise for me works, because I'm just focusing on that. And then I try to like do maybe a 5-minute meditation. Ideally, it doesn't happen as much as, I think would benefit me. So I'm working on that one. And then the writing is a really good one for me. Now that the weather's nicer, I've started to incorporate like go outside and read for 15 minutes because I love to read. I like to be outside, or go for a little walk around the neighborhood. And all of these things just prime my mind to feel good. And then I feel more equipped to go into my day, especially the writing one, or the kind of addressing whatever is going on in the back of your mind. Like you don't have to write. You can go for a walk and just decide to think about it and address it, because there's so much stuff that we just don't, like we just let sit in our mind and bug us and give us that pit of anxiety, or even like they're really just in our subconscious. So I think just by giving yourself permission to think about it or write about it or talk about it to yourself probably is going to open up that subconscious like shit pile that's going on in there a bit more. And you're kind of telling yourself like, maybe if you're not ready to think about stuff that bugs you, maybe you're just ready to take the first step of like telling yourself it's okay that you're feeling that way, and that you're starting to work on being okay with addressing it and thinking about it and then working on it. I think any activity, I'm probably missing so many. Like, I'd be curious for you guys to say what your morning routine is or what puts you in a positive mood. Like, sitting with a tea is really good for me too. I know a lot of people like sit with a coffee and do whatever. And maybe scrolling through your Instagram is part of your routine. I think I do that after I've made sure to do the other things first, because just getting up and immediately going on my screen doesn't make me personally feel great off the bat. Like, I follow a lot of great content on Instagram that makes me feel good, but I think it's just the act of like doing something really passive and looking at my phone right away that it could be better. So yeah, I'm just realizing I need to do these things for myself and make myself feel good. And it's the reason why it doesn't happen is because it's easier to just roll over in bed, hit the snooze a couple times, and then when I finally do wake up, grab my phone and scroll on Instagram until I feel good. Until I feel like getting up. And then it's like an hour before work and all I have time to do is like make breakfast and, get dressed and drive to work or whatever. So yeah, I think I just noticed that I'm much better at my job. I'm better at interacting with people. I'm more able to, like, in my job, I work with other people and I support them and I listen to their problems and their stories. And I think when I'm too in my head and I haven't, set my day out in the right direction, I am probably not as present and good of a listener and good of a problem solver than when I do. So it's just super valuable. I can't personally anymore just roll out of bed and go to work. Like I wake up like usually 3 hours before work because I love that time in the morning, and the fact that it can be just like alone time as well is really good for me. I know not everyone can because they have kids, but or they have, who knows, maybe you start work at 5 a.m. I wouldn't say get up at 2 or whatever. So do what works for you. Maybe your morning routine only total takes 10 minutes and it's like 3-minute meditation, like 3 minutes of jumping jacks, I don't know, whatever works for you. But yeah, just do something that makes you feel really good and really positive. Maybe it's like putting on a YouTube video or a podcast that's super positive, or it doesn't have to be like self-development or whatever. It can be just something that makes you laugh. Like maybe you put on stand-up comedy while you're doing your hair, or maybe you put on dance music. Oh, that's a good one. Like dancing in the morning or singing in the car on the way to work, or yeah, putting on really upbeat music. Just anything, like, because I think we just wake up sometimes and we feel shitty, and then it just goes into the rest of our day. So yeah, it's been very valuable for me the days that I do that. And I think, now I'm kind of at a point where I do it like, well, I shouldn't say, I should say it's good. I do it about maybe 60% of the time, but I think that my life would only improve if I was doing it, as much as possible. And obviously it's not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be days where you feel like you really don't want to do it, and that's okay. But know that if you do it, you're probably gonna feel better. So yeah, let me know what your morning, good shit is. And I hope that doing it makes you feel as good as doing my positive stuff makes me feel. Yeah, it's pretty invaluable. So